Here's the problem. This is where you lose me. The 1023 they told us didn't exist.
Right.
They said it didn't exist. What are you talking about? Then it said it didn't exist. It's totally different. We're concerned about letting this out. It'll give the wrong impression. Excuse me? You had a highly credible informant talk about the Vice President of the United States possibly taking a bribe. They go, well, we haven't run it down yet. Well, William Barr says, I did run it down. I heard about this case. I sent out to the Pittsburgh office. They made a lot of progress past where the FBI left it, and then they left office. So now Grassley says, I'm going to let this out.
Yeah, here it is, if y'all want to see it. Here is the 1023. It does exist. And it's been redacted. See all the black Sharpie marks? It's been redacted, so you don't know the name of the informant who told this to the FBI.
To build on what Brian said, after they said it didn't exist and they couldn't release it, now they're talking about the safety of the witness. Put them in witness protection. I mean, are y'all actually conducting an investigation into this matter? I mean, there's so much doublespeak, and one man is saying one, the Department of Justice is saying something, Mayor Garland, under Mayor Garland's leadership, Ray is saying something different, the investigation lead is saying something different in the IRS. Put them all in the room at one time so they can all face each other and show us the documents as they go through the timeline of this.
So this is what he highlighted some of it, but the chief financial officer of Burisma said, quote, they hired Hunter Biden to protect us through his dad from all kinds of problems. The head of Burisma said, don't worry, Hunter will take care of all of those issues through his dad. It costs $5 million to pay one Biden and $5 million to pay another Biden. Head of Burisma also said, although Hunter Biden was stupid and his dog was smarter, he needed to keep Hunter Biden on the board so everything will be okay. He didn't want to pay the Bidens, and he was pushed to pay them. He said he has many text messages and recordings that show that he was coerced to make such payments. He had a total of 17 recordings involving the Bidens. 2 of the recordings included Joe Biden, and the remaining 15 recordings only included Hunter Biden. Where are these recordings? I'd love to hear them.
The CFO bragged that he had covered his tracks when it came to the Biden payments. The FBI received a lead involving cryptocurrency. Now, when you talk about money, this CFO came out and said, he said, why don't you just handle this yourself? Because the judge that Joe Biden fired,
the prosecutor,
was looking into Burisma. And he says, listen, we got to defend ourselves against this. He says, why don't you spend $50,000 and get yourself a lawyer? And he laughs. He goes, why are you laughing? He goes, yeah, because the 5. He goes, I have to spend $5 million on one Biden and $5 million on the other Biden. That's supposed to take care of this problem. Now, if you fast forward, you can put the puzzle together yourself. Next thing you know, the vice president goes over to Ukraine and says, I told this guy, fire the judge, fire the prosecutor in 6 hours, or you're not going to get your $1 billion. And what do you know it? You got, we fired the guy and I left the $5 billion there. So
$1
we
billion.
had
$1 billion. That was American taxpayer dollars.
Yes.
I'll give you American money if you fire this prosecutor who's going after the head of Burisma, and my son is on the board.
So think about this. He has U.S. dollars, and he's handing out like it's his money. Like, I'm going to give you $1 billion. He's personally delivering aid. Are you crazy? And what is this, 1910? When we're talking about $1 billion. This stuff is transferred. And I would just like to add one more thing to this. Barack Obama gave him the Ukrainian portfolio, so he was working it. So he was told, handle Ukraine. I know it's a complex place, and everyone's like, they're so corrupt, and that's where Rudy Giuliani got caught in the vortex. This has nothing to do with Rudy Giuliani.
So why does this matter? How did it impact the last election? And this is from the section chief of the FBI's Foreign Influence Task Force. This is what they recollected in the closed-door meeting. Somebody from Twitter essentially asked whether the laptop was real, and one of the FBI folks who was on the call confirmed that, yes, it was, before another participant jumped in and said, no further comment. Who was that participant, right? Who was it? Who was it?
Did Barack Obama know that he was going over to Burisma and this was happening behind the scenes? I'm giving you American tax dollars if you fire this prosecutor?
Do you remember that? I don't know, but do you remember the context of text messages saying that Joe Biden, who just lost his son, Beau, how bad it looks that his son is on the board of Burisma and his dad has the portfolio for Ukraine, and they essentially said, he's in the middle of grieving his son. Do you want to get involved? It's the last year of our administration. Do you really want to put your foot down here? And they let it go. Meanwhile, if I'm Barack Obama, and I'll play naive, I would be so furious saying, I'm asking this guy to do his job, and he's out there doing double dealing in China, in Romania, with the Moscow mayor, and in Ukraine. That's saying
lining his pockets.
Lining his pockets. Because I don't see any link to the president and the vice president.